This is Mongraal, one of the most popular Fortnite players of all time. He is toxic,
dog shit. When he plays his qualifications, dog shit. When he plays Sony Cash Cups, dog shit. When he plays any competitive event,
extremely talented,
Let's go. That kid only had an AR. Nice.
and sometimes he rages a bit too hard. Although he is one of the most recognizable players in Fortnite history, it hasn't always been like that. From the top of the top to completely disappearing from the internet back to being just as popular as before, this is the entire rise, fall, and rise again of Mongraal. Kyle Mongraal Jackson was born on August 13, 2004 in Kent, England. Rather than playing sports growing up, he got into video games at a very young age. He enjoyed playing first-person shooter games like Halo and Call of Duty and started playing competitively at 9 years old. He didn't know, but this competitive drive would be very important for his future. Over time, he started grinding games like PUBG and H1Z1 as the Battle Royale genre was becoming more and more popular. The timing could not have been more perfect for him as Fortnite Battle Royale was released in 2017 at the peak of this hype. While he played Fortnite at the beginning, he still preferred H1Z1 and would stream that until January of 2018, then he really started to enjoy Fortnite. Once he started streaming Fortnite, the growth was slow as he was only averaging about 10 viewers for the first 4 months. Although he wasn't pulling too many viewers, a massive gaming organization named Team Secret recognized just how talented he was at the game and decided to make him a part of their roster. 4 days after this, Mongraal would be interviewed by the BBC News Network and this would change his life. Once this interview aired, he went from 10 average viewers to over 1,000 in just 1 month. He was growing so quickly mainly because of his insane mechanics and just how good he was at solo squads. He would consistently upload gameplays, dropping 30 plus kills to YouTube where they would pull millions of views because nobody else was doing it back then. Around this time, he would drop out of school to fully focus on pursuing gaming and content creation, which turned out to be a great decision. And this was really just the beginning. June 15th, 2018 would be the day his streaming career absolutely skyrocketed. Before Fortnite hosted their own in-game tournaments, the main source of competition was the weekly $20,000 Friday Fortnite tournament. These were 2v2 kill races featuring the best players and biggest streamers in the world, and it was a chance to prove yourself as the best of the best. Mongraal and his teammate Dementos went on to do just that, winning the tournament but not without some controversy. After they won, Team Secret tweeted this, saying that they are the best Fortnite team in the world with real pros and not entertainers. The organizers of Friday Fortnite didn't really like this, so they would ban Team Secret from any future tournaments. Luckily, Mongraal was still allowed to play, just not with Secret in his name. After winning this tournament, his Twitch blew up, and by the end of 2018, he was averaging close to 9,000 viewers. While the success from streaming and content creation was nice, his true passion was competing, and sadly he couldn't do that. You see, Fortnite announced they would be allocating $100 million to competitive prize pools and hosting the $30 million Fortnite World Cup. But there was one problem: you had to be 16 years old to compete, and Mongraal was only 14. While he managed to qualify for the Winter Royale in 2018, he was unable to participate because he was too young. Luckily, this was changed on February 22nd, 2019, as the age requirement to compete was lowered to 13, and Mongraal was not going to miss out on the opportunity to dominate the World Cup. Going into it, he was a favorite to qualify with his duo Mitro, and they easily pulled it off, placing second in the first week, punching their ticket to New York. But solos was a different story. Week 1, he finished 16th, missing out by just a couple of points, but the next 3 weeks he did not come anywhere close. While qualifying for duos was already an achievement, he would not be satisfied unless he qualified for solos as well. With one last chance to qualify, he pulled off one of the greatest clutches in Fortnite history.
I don't think so. The drop in. Gets the shot off and gets the elimination. Mongraal literally putting on a clinic of why you need to pay attention to what's going on.
Everybody,
are you kidding?
Just fell.
Picks up 3 balls.
Launch pad, he's gonna launch pad off. Oh my goodness, are you serious? 13 eliminations, there's still 4 players left, including him. Add it down! No way are you doing this right now, Mongraal! No way! Top 3 situation now. Gonna get the time for the minis. Still needs to find 2 more. Not sure who he's fighting. It's Alec on high ground and then Zur. Mongraal took down every single player that we talked about earlier in the lobby. And now reloading the double RPG as well. Zur's gonna go down in another one. Mongraal, are you kidding me?
This was enough for him to qualify for the Solo World Cup Finals. This meant he was one of the 18 players who qualified for both solos and duos. After this, he signed to FaZe Clan, who he would represent for the next 3 years. As someone who grew up playing Call of Duty, this was basically a dream come true. At the World Cup Finals in New York, he would have a respectable performance, finishing 6th in duos, followed by a 13th in solos. Overall, he made $375,000 in 2 days, and this was just the beginning of his run. Once the Fortnite Championship Series was announced as the new major major tournament with trios being the game mode, Mongraal and Mitro decided to pick up Benji Fishy as their third. They now had 3 of the best fighters and overall players in the world on one team, and this was pretty obvious in their placements. In the 5 weeks of Trio FNCS qualifiers, they finished first, second, and second, securing themselves $134,000 each. Not only was this trio insane, they were extremely entertaining to watch, producing some of the most iconic clips in Fortnite history.
Aqua on me! Aqua! Shit on! Shit on! Dance! Dance, bitch! Dance!
Spamming RPG, go!
W King.
Not dead! Dead!
Well, take him all!
Dead! Ah! Dead! Let's go! Get the fuck out of my game!
They easily won their heat, but finished a disappointing 10th place in Grand Finals because of another team griefing them with mechs. This was pretty discouraging considering just how dominant they were the rest of the season. The next FNCS game mode was squads, and everybody expected the MMB trio to pick up Benji Fishy's duo, Mr. Savage. While they did try it out, they did not play well together, so Mongraal and Benji Fishy teamed up with Wolfies and Nate. This Grand Finals would go way better as they finished 2nd place, but Mongraal just could not pick up the win. After this was duo FNCS, which he would play with Benji instead of Mitro. Although they finished 2nd in Grand Finals a couple months earlier, they were unable to qualify in duos. The next FNCS was solos, which was Mongraal's specialty, but once again he did not perform up to his standards, placing 16th in finals. For most people, multiple bad seasons in a row would be pretty demotivating, but this just lit a spark beneath him. For the next few months, he would grind harder than ever for FNCS in Chapter 2 Season 4, better known as Stark Season. This time, it was back to his favorite game mode, trios. Instead of playing with Benji Fishy, he decided to team up with his World Cup duo Mitro and the previous season's solo FNCS winner, Tayson. We all know Tayson is the GOAT of Fortnite, but at the time we didn't really know what to expect from this trio, especially considering just how dysfunctional they really were.
Just making sure I don't really die though.
Hold up here, please, we're in the game.
Ooh, Tayson wants to do the God IGL. Do we listen to the IGL, Tayson? Let's have a think about this though.
I think we listen to Mongraal because it's the most kills right now. Which one?
Oh, let's go! Where are we going, boys? Where are we going?
Despite the fact that Mongraal and Mitro trolled a lot, they were really good. Throughout the weekly qualifiers, they landed at Stark Industries, which was easily the best drop spot in the game, and they destroyed any team that tried to contest them. Going into the Grand Finals, they were uncontested with the best loot in the game, and they would not let this go to waste.
Let's go!
1 HP.
Nice. Let's f***ing go!
They were running away with the tournament with a 30-point lead going into day 2, and it seemed like there was no way they could lose. They also picked up another 13-kill win to grow their lead even more. But this was about to change. Flick, Anas, and Thomas HD decided to start landing on them, and this made the tournament way more interesting. Mongraal, Mitro, and Tayson started to struggle, gaining only 8 points in the next 4 games, and going into the last game, their lead went from 54 points to only 20. This meant there was a chance they could lose, but they made a risky decision that would change the outcome of the tournament by landing at Sweaty Sands on the 2nd place team.
And we'll be bringing you the final game right here, right now, and we're gonna kick it off where else but in Sweaty Sands with 1 and 2 standing toe-to-toe, mouth-to-mouth in the ring at one of the strongest POIs.
This would ultimately pay off, and they secured the FNCS championship. Winning was impressive, but the more impressive thing is that Mongraal streamed the entire thing. He had an average of 90,000 viewers over the course of finals, which was honestly just as crazy as actually winning. His social media presence was absolutely massive, and he was easily one of the most influential players in the game. You would think that after a performance like this, the trio would stick together and keep dominating, but that is not what happened. Tayson really wanted to play with people who took practice more seriously, which meant Mongraal and Mitro had to find a new third. The obvious choice was to go back to Benji Fishy and run back the MMB trio, and they did, but it was just not the same. They split up after doing terrible in the first week of FNCS, and this was the beginning of a very slippery slope for Mongraal. After winning the previous season, he didn't even qualify for heats, and the following season it happened again. But why was he struggling so much? I think the main reason was complacency. After finally winning an FNCS, he stopped putting in as much time, which resulted in him placing worse. Placing bad also caused him to get demotivated, meaning he played less, leading to an endless cycle of bad performances. In Chapter 2 Season 7, he barely qualified for heats and once again failed to make the Grand Finals. And the same thing happened in Season 8 and Grand Royale. From getting first place in one of the most dominant finals performances ever to not even qualifying for the next 5, it was obvious something was going on. After this, he started to play Fortnite way less as he just did not enjoy the game anymore. He also started taking weeks off streaming, and when he did stream, he would be playing other games most of the time. After failing to make it out of opens in both weeks of Chapter 3 Season 1's FNCS with Mitro, it was obvious that we were coming up at the end of one of the greatest careers of all time. He still streamed consistently for a couple of months, but he would be playing Valorant most of the time, which would cause his viewer count to decrease as he stopped playing the game he was known for. Eventually, he stopped going live altogether and basically disappeared from the internet. So what happened? Well, he was obviously burnt out from the years of grinding and just wanted a change of pace in his life. Other than the occasional stream, there was basically radio silence for over a year. But then he did something that everybody would hear about. If you don't know what the Bored Ape Yacht Club is, it is one of the biggest NFTs in the world. And in January of 2023, they released a game called Dookie Dash. Dookie Dash was one of those games where you have to avoid obstacles and collect stuff to basically just get as high of a score as possible. To celebrate the release of the game, they hosted a massive competition with the first place prize being over $1 million. Using his gaming talent, Mongraal would grind non-stop, and out of the thousands of players, he got first place. In doing this, he received an item that he sold for $1.6 million. If you didn't know, he has $720,000 earned from Fortnite, so he made over double his lifetime earnings in just a couple weeks grinding a different game. For the next 6 months, we didn't really hear much from him until he uploaded this vlog on YouTube. In the video, he talks about how he started focusing on things that were important to him. This included working out, traveling, prioritizing his mental health, and building discipline. In life, balance is extremely important, so these were great changes for him. He didn't say anything about ever coming back to Fortnite, but it was always a possibility. In October of 2023, Epic Games announced that they would be bringing back OG Fortnite for an entire month. Everybody was excited to have a chance to play the game they fell in love with once again, and Mongraal felt the same way. After not streaming or really doing anything on social media for most of 2023, he made a huge announcement. He tweeted this saying OG Fortnite could be the start of a new era. This tweet received a ton of love, but nobody knew if he would be making a full return or if he'd just be coming back for a little bit. At first, he was a bit rusty because he hadn't played the game in a while, but it was clear that he was enjoying it again. Everyone expected him to quit again after the OG season ended, but when Chapter 5 released, he kept on playing. 1 week after the season came out, him and Mr. Savage shocked the community by saying they are playing FNCS. Savage was a way better player than him at the time, so this was surprising to some people, but they really enjoyed playing together and knew if they put the time in, they could compete at a high level. They made this decision with one goal in mind: qualify for the Global Championships in Fort Worth. Leading up to FNCS, they were putting in a lot of time, and we were about to see if it would pay off. In the 2 weeks of qualifiers, they placed just good enough to secure a spot in the lower bracket. Since they were in the lower bracket, they had 2 chances to get top 30 in order to keep their hopes alive. On the second day, they finished in 12th, securing their spot in the upper bracket round 3. Now, all they needed was a top 25 in order to make finals. In the last game, Savage clutched as a solo to get to 60 points, but was it gonna be enough?
Did Savage and Mongraal qual? Gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh my god. On the tie break, you've got to be shitting me.
This was heartbreaking, but there was still one more chance. They either placed top 15 in lower bracket or it's over. And this is when the perfect script began to unravel.
We're gonna win? Can he win this? With 0 builds? Surely not. Just don't die to TD. No! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes! 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 Oh my god, yes, he's clutching so hard! 80 points! Let's fucking go! Oh my god, he's gonna win! Oh my god! TD can't get up, he wins! It's the opposite of the Savage Shadow Bomb play! Oh my fucking god, they've qualified!
Yes.
I'm checking.
You're 12. 100% all games finished.
Yeah!
Oh my god. Chat, we qualified to Grands. We qualified. We qualified, boys. We qualified.
With this win, Mongraal qualified for his first Grand Finals since Chapter 2 Season 4. Unfortunately, they were contested in Grand Finals, but it was a really good sign that they performed this well in his first season back. The following season, they made heats once again, but were unable to make it out of the lower bracket. With their eyes set on qualifying for this year's Global Championship, they made a crazy decision. Since EU and NA both have 10 qualification spots to the LAN, Mongraal and Savage announced that they are moving to Dallas to compete in NA's FNCS. Since NA is statistically easier, it seemed like a great idea. At first, it didn't look like they would be good enough to place top 10 in Grands, but recently they've been proving everybody wrong. After just missing out on upper bracket, they had to make it out of lowers once again, and they made it look easy, finishing in second place. At this point, all they needed was a top 25 back-to-back rounds of upper bracket, but it wouldn't be easy because they were contested by Death and Edgy at their drop. And sadly, it would not go as planned. For Death and Edgy, Mongraal and Savage won 4-1 off spawn and finished in 8th place. Now all they needed was one more top 25 and they finished in 10th, officially securing their spot in Grand Finals. Heading into the Grand Finals this weekend, they are looking extremely good. With a career full of ups and downs, Mongraal has always found a way to come out on top and do anything he sets his mind to. There is no doubt in my mind that this duo will find a way to finish top 10, qualify for the Global Championships, and complete the one goal they had when he first returned to the game. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and watch this one too. Let me know if you think they'll qualify or not in the comments, and subscribe if you enjoy content like this.